Today, we're diving into the story of Ahmed and the whispers in the forest. And really, it's a story that asks a pretty deep question. When you're up against your own temptations, what do you lean on? It's about courage, sure, but it's also about a kind of quiet power that we all have inside us.
So, how can something as simple as a prayer become a powerful shield? Well, let's get into it with the story of a young boy who found out the answer in a way he never expected. All right, first things first, let's meet our main character, an 8-year-old boy named Ahmed.
So, who is Ahmed? Well, he's this 8-year-old kid, and his whole world is kind of built on kindness and faith. His day doesn't start with cartoons, it starts with a quiet moment, a prayer, where he asks to be brave and to be good. He helps his parents out, he's gentle with animals, you get the picture. He's a really good kid, and that simple, good foundation, it's about to be put to the test.
And this is where the adventure really kicks off. He's at the edge of this mysterious forest, and a strange shadow catches his eye. And it's not just scary, there's something about it that's alluring. It's that classic pull between what we're afraid of and what we're curious about, you know?
But check out his first reaction. He doesn't bolt, he doesn't run away. His first instinct is to recite this short prayer, which basically means, I seek refuge in God from the tempter. And just by saying those words, by kind of centering himself, the shadow actually pulls back. This is our first big clue about where his real power comes from.
Okay, so once he's actually inside the forest, Ahmed has to face his first real challenge, and it's a big one, a test of greed. All of a sudden, the path in front of him is literally covered with the kid's wildest dreams. We're talking glittering gold coins, the shiniest new toys, piles and piles of candy. It's the ultimate temptation, all laid out by Shaytan, who is basically the embodiment of temptation in this story. And then you hear it, that little whisper in your ear, right? That voice that says, go on, take it. It can all be yours. No strings attached. But Ahmed doesn't grab for the toys. Nope. Instead, he closes his eyes and he reaches inward, praying for strength. And in that moment, this incredible golden light just shines from him, and poof, the temptations are gone. It's such a powerful image, right? His prayer isn't just words, it's literally a shield. But see, the tempter is smart. If shiny objects aren't going to work, what's the next tactic? Well, you turn someone's own emotions against them. Things like anger, fear, and even laziness.
First up, anger. Imagine this. A friend accidentally breaks his absolute favorite toy. That whisper is right there. Punish him. Make him pay. But Ahmed, he takes a breath, says a prayer, and chooses something else entirely. He chooses forgiveness. Next, Shaytan goes for a classic, fear. As the sun goes down and the forest gets dark, a voice hisses at him, playing on that universal fear of being alone in the dark. You're scared. Just turn back where it's safe.
And what does he do? Once again, he turns to his faith. He prays, asking for guidance and protection. And it's not like a magic trick, it's about finding his focus. And in that moment of focus, the fear doesn't just go away, it gets replaced by actual courage.
And for the last test in this part of the journey, laziness. Ahmed's getting tired, he's worn out, and suddenly this bright, super easy path appears. The whisper is so tempting. Just rest, take the shortcut. This way is so much easier. But he knows, deep down, it's just another trick.
So this brings us to a really important idea in the story. Temptation almost never looks like a big, scary monster. It's usually wearing a disguise.
And think about how clever these disguises are. It's not some obvious villain. It's a friendly stranger offering to help, or a poor, helpless puppy that makes you feel sorry for it. Shaitan uses the things we're naturally drawn to, our instinct to be kind, our compassion, to try and lead Ahmed off the right path. But Ahmed's faith acts like his compass, his true north. He manages to see through every trick, and he stands his ground, saying, I will not follow you, Allah is my guide. He's staying true to himself.
So all of this, every test, every disguise, it's all been leading up to this one moment, deep in the darkest part of the forest. This is the final confrontation.
And this is Shaitan's last-ditch effort. When all the clever tricks and disguises have failed, what's left? The oldest trick in the book, a direct attack on his confidence, a roar that says, you are weak, you're going to fail. And this is the climax of the whole story. Ahmed doesn't crumble. He stands firm. and his voice is just filled with this incredible conviction as he shouts back, "I am not afraid. Allah is with me." At this point, his faith is an unbreakable weapon.
And as he steps out of the forest, out of the darkness, and back into the sunlight, it's like everything just clicks. Ahmed finally truly understands the source of his strength. It was the power of his own faith all along.
So what did he actually learn on this crazy journey? Well, he learned that trust is way more powerful than greed, that patience and prayer can beat anger, and that real faith is what transforms fear into courage. He found out that his true strength wasn't about being some perfect superhero. It came from his iman, his own deep, personal faith.
And when he finally gets home and tells his parents this incredible story, they don't just tell him he's brave, they reinforce the exact lesson he just learned for himself. They remind him, remember, prayer and trust, those are the greatest strengths you'll ever have.
In the end, Ahmed's story is really a metaphor for all of us. We all have our own dark forests we have to walk through in life. And his journey is this beautiful reminder that faith, whether it's faith in a higher power, faith in other people, or just plain faith in yourself, can be the brightest light to guide you. So, that leaves us with a question for you. When you face your own challenges, what's your source of strength?